And we are live. This is episode 49 of the Philosopher, the Stoic, and the Teddy Bear. Today, we will be discussing the 270 million additional dollars of our tax money to Ukraine and the Sovereign Wealth Fund. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Need more coffee. Good though.
India.
Always in good spirits.
So I guess we'll start with you, Peyman. What's your thoughts on this latest amount of money to Ukraine?
When the original John D. Rockefeller, the founder of Standard Oil, he was apparently a terrible husband, and his daughter goes to his wife. The daughter goes to her mother. It's like 6 years old. It's like, mommy, I got a plan. How about you kill daddy and then blame it on me because I'm a kid and I can't go to jail? And the mom, just after years of being battered, she turns around and is like, that's nice, dear, but it's not going to work. The Canadian taxpayers are sort of the same thing. Like, we've been pushed around so much that this stuff, we've learned to accept it, which is, I think, the real problem.
Your thoughts, Kris?
Well, I think it's, what next, right? Like it's the complacency of the taxpayer, how bad things are in this country, and everyone in the media will tell you, oh no, it's not, everything's fine. But you see, we can't afford to pay for our own stuff. Even in BC and stuff, they're even cutting health transfers to provinces, the size of them over the next couple of years. So I don't understand how, all it does is reinforce that we have a very sick institution that surrounds these people, and institutions that allows these people to get away with it. We have no justice. We have no law and order. They just can do it. And Carney is so brazen about it. Like he's literally doing this to it's not elbows up, it's up yours, right? Is what he's doing to this country. And the 270 million, like, why are we doing this? Chrystia Freeland leaves her position, so she's like the bag handler and all of it. We don't get to audit it. We don't know where the money goes. We just throw it at them. And I mean, even when the Ukraine war started, we saw like there were politicians being arrested at airports with bags full of money, right? So I don't understand why the public doesn't get upset about it. I'm sure, it's such bullshit. But what do we do? Right? We got to keep our heads up and hopefully, with every action that this guy takes, it wakes more people up. That's all I can say. But it is like literally a robbery. He is just stealing from us to give to others, and it's not Robin Hood. Go ahead, JP.
Well, it's not elbows off now. Presently, it's masks off. Full tyranny. So this brings the total near 25.6 billion or something around those lines. Like that's an exorbitant amount of money. Like, Ukraine is not even a NATO ally. It's pretty telling where your priorities lie, considering the state of Canada and all the people that are suffering here. And that's the answer. It just continuously depletes our revenue and gives it to other countries. It's phenomenal. I'm not surprised by the apathy. I'm kind of with you, Peyman. Like, I'm starting to become aware that Canadians might never wake up, no matter what. So that's where we are.
Something's got to give. I mean, they have to wake up eventually, don't they? Because they're operating now out in the open. And when you do that, like you and I were talking about this, JP, they tried to make IRGC to be the new Nazi because Nazism is just not edgy enough anymore, I guess. But when you're leaning into this much corruption, it becomes more difficult to differentiate yourself from the enemy. So the old saying was, when they do it, it's terrorism. When we do it, it's counterterrorism. Well, not when you're doing terrorism times 100 of your enemy. And in this case, like, we are approaching the level of corruption of the Far East, the Middle East, Eastern Europe, the former Soviet bloc. I don't know, the Roman Empire just before its decline. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's hard to say. You want to think something's going to give, but when that happens, what does it mean? Right? Like, I think that so much of it is the brazenness that kind of makes your jaw drop. Kind of like, really? Like, you're going to shut down committees, you're going to bribe politicians to come over and give you your majority. It's Carney is a different beast. Trudeau, I always assume that Carney was Trudeau's handler. But you see what he's doing once he got the majority, and it's phenomenal. And it's only just starting. He'll sprinkle things, at the taxpayer, and they'll be like, thank you, daddy, right? as your house value depreciates, the food goes through the roof, homeless tents everywhere, right? They'll probably just legalize cocaine and just start giving it to everybody just to liven people up, to keep up their spirits. But nothing surprises me anymore with these guys. What's heartbreaking, though, is that they can get away with it. That we have no law enforcement, that we have no recourse that can actually stop this train. And now with a majority and those traders that cross the floor, you know, it's like it's a full-on kleptocracy. Just stealing everything, and there's nothing that can be done to stop them. So you just got to keep your wits and hope something changes. Even right now, I'd take Polyev, even though I'm, you know, my opinions on federal level are, you know, but at the same time, something needs to give. And so we're just going to give $270 million to Ukraine. No questions. I'm sure everyone supports it, right? At least the media will tell us that we're the bad people for thinking we should be taking care of our own. I'll land it there. Go ahead, JP.
It really is a drop in the bucket compared to what we've given them already. Not that makes it trivial or inconsequential. It's a big deal. But I mean, we really have to put it in perspective. These floor crossers, 4 from the Conservative Party, 1 from the NDP party, this was all done in backroom deals. This man does not have a democratic mandate to lead Canada. And here he is making the biggest, most consequential moves I've ever seen made. And just qualifying everything by, well, it's a more dangerous and divided world. We need to catalyze investment. That's his favorite word, catalyze. It's atrocious. And presently he's in Armenia on this European Community Summit, the first non-European country to be there. He continuously lets us know that. And he's over there talking about a new international order. Like, this is just next level mask off tyranny. And it's not only we don't have like bodies there's no recourse, like Canadians themselves, most have no idea. Very intelligent Canadians are just, they refuse to look at this thing. It's becoming just frustrating.
I guess for the audience, sorry, if you could like, share, and subscribe, and repost the stream. And if you have any questions, put it in the comments. At the halfway mark, we get to them. We get to them in the order that you post it. So get your questions in quick. To the audience and to my co-hosts, close your eyes and try to imagine this imaginary world where we have checks and balances. Can you even picture what checks and balances would look like? Because I can't at this point. These guys, they're just, as you said, JP, they're doing whatever they want. The so-called official opposition, like, what are they doing? What exactly are they opposing? Are they fake opposing it? Are they phoning it home? Are they not showing up to work? They got body doubles? Because it's seemingly there's no opposition. It's like a coup. They've taken over twice now. This is my third round speaking. Twice now you've asked me to speak about the actual money sent to Ukraine, and I've just been telling stories and avoiding the question because we all know that it's absurd. The country is in a perilous position. People are lining up for food banks, and we're sending money overseas. And people are okay with that. And I think people actually support that. And I have no idea what's going on in this country.
I think it's hard to gauge. I think that, you know, you can't really trust polls. You can't, you know, I don't think that we will ever really know how much there is support for that. I'm of the opinion we should not be sending any money anywhere. We can't afford it. We're borrowing money to give to other countries. And the interest on that debt, it's like you're locking the next couple of generations into a level of servitude. And like you said, yeah, Carney likes to use the term catalyst, but he views us all as cattle, right? Like he you know, the useless eaters, all the rest of it. But it's not like he's like, not like he didn't know. Read his book. It's all in there how he thinks, you know. And when you look at what you're saying, Peyman, that he doesn't have a democratic mandate because he literally backroom dealed to get some, like, a 20-year conservative. But you saw De Ritter come out and tell everyone that's what they were doing. So how is this guy not being under investigation? Right? That's the thing. You just got to hold your hats and hopefully someday things get better, or start, or at least the bleeding stops. Because everything they do now, right now, we're feeling the impacts of all the reckless spending from the COVID event. You know, it takes a little while for these things to catch up. So, and they just keep doing it. And Carney's gone all in. So we haven't even really started to feel what Carney has. It'll be 2 or 3 years. And what will the country look like in 2029? Ready to implode right before Agenda 2030, where we can all be on universal basic income and eating rice cakes on the beach somewhere. I'll leave it there. Not black pilled though. I'm spitting it out.
There's zero accountability in Canada. You look at the Trudeau decade. I hear a lot of people call it the lost decade, but I mean, there was a plethora of scandals, just scandal after scandal. People would resign, and that would be the end of it. There's no accountability. There's no process. There's no demand for accountability. The public are just, I don't know if we're masochistic. Is it some kind of sense of masochism that's overwhelming us, and we just feel that we deserve the abuse at this point? Because it's pretty phenomenal to see. But it is, man. It's not a black pill. It's a stark realization. Canada is a clusterfuck right now, and nobody seems to be looking at this thing. They're truly. It's like I said in one of our recent episodes. It's like a zombie apocalypse. I feel like I'm alive during a zombie apocalypse. Everyone is that willfully blind to what's occurring. It seems surreal most days.
Yeah, this is a good description as any. We have a BC Conservative Party leadership race going on in this province of British Columbia right now. And what I want to see, if any of the candidates did this, I would vote. I would have worked for them for free, full time. Just get up and say there are 2,000 positions in the tribunals in the province of British Columbia. All of them are appointed and they're staffed by ideologues. When we form government, we're going to expel every single one of them, and we're going to fill those positions with people that support the traditional family unit, people that support land ownership, men that respect women and know what they are, women that love their children, immigrants that come here that want to make this country better and that they're grateful for being here, people who were born here, who have respect for their ancestors and what they built. Like if they said that, I would vote for them. Instead, they're kind of just merging and morphing into the federal Conservative Party, which my close friend Timothy Knight pointed out, that's a violation of the Constitution, the BNA Act, the separation of powers. So it's, I don't want to swear, it's a cluster something.
Oh, just let it out, dude. Just
cluster. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it's one of those, like, I like your the platform sounds great, right? That sounds like it's kind of how I viewed the world before. Like I come back to the COVID event, but there's things along the way, like I said, with my university when I wouldn't go finish my degree because I didn't understand how there were so many different genders, all that kind of stuff, right? But it's like the inverted world, all the stuff that it seems normal, seems rational, but you're not dealing with rational people on the other side, right? They foment and they play off the emotions, and they're not letting people heal, not even acknowledging all the trauma that's been inflicted over the past 5 years, if not longer, right? They're not letting people heal. They just keep poking them, you know, and Canadians just keep taking it or just oblivious because there's a playoff game. That's more important to people. That it's teams. They want to be on teams and support teams, but they need to look inside. They need to look around because it's not, you know, it's not going to get better until you can have those serious conversations with yourself. And I don't even know, is it a generational thing? Even when it comes to politics, why wouldn't, you know, that sounds like a very good, it sounds like a traditional conservative platform, but I don't even like those labels. It just sounds like that's normal. I love how you said, you know, who knows how to treat a woman and knows what a woman is.
I snuck it in there.
Yes, I'll add it there. Go ahead, JP.
It just confounds me. I look at other places in the world, like Canada is one of many countries where the exact same policies are being implemented and we're dealing with the same hardships. But when you look to Europe, when you look to even Australia or New Zealand, like they're kind of aware of their uniparty situation, of the two major parties just working together. And there's like a lot of interest in their populist parties, in their new parties that have emerged. In Canada, like the people that are awake, your best case scenario in Canada is you interpret someone that thinks they're awake and they're politically aware and they're supporting controlled opposition Pierre Poilievre. Old feckless Pierre still running his game, and they can't see past it. It's like they're just susceptible to falling into this every single time, man. They're not willing to go beyond that, essentially.
if we're going to give some hope to the audience, I think there are some things that are getting better. So there's the three of us, like we have a modest podcast here, and we're trying to speak to the core issues. There's other people that we might disagree with. We think they're not doing enough investigation, like Mario Zelaya and that, the infamous squad that went to the Conservative Party convention, Jasmine Lane. But on the plus side, at least they're trying to educate the public. I was watching one of the girls in that crew. She does this the stream from her car where she
Unfiltered
exposes
Kelsey.
Yes,
something.
that's the one. Yeah. At least she's exposing legislation, and we're moving the country in some direction where the future generations have some hope of reversing the damages of 2030 once they get unleashed. At least it's something positive. I mean, it could be worse. It could be the boomer generation. They're just on cruise ships.
I can't broad brush it. I know a lot of wide awake, pissed off boomers. So to all of you out there that are awake and doing that, but I hear you. It's and even what you said, right? I have no time for I have no time for anything other than work and what I'm doing and this. But I have no interest in attacking on that front. Like there is like, yeah, it's with everything with I'm not going to name names, but the crew, like I did broad brush them. I just, if you want to hang out and you want to do that, then I think you're opening yourself up to criticism, right? But at the same time, yeah, Kels was covering DRIPA. She was covering the provincial name removals. I'm not sure if you're in British Columbia. We've gone completely insane with with the Declaration of Rights of Indigenous Peoples, where our government's just giving away the land to everybody, and there's it's causing problems. But as a part of that, they're removing just on all the provincial parks. You'd pull in provincial park, whatever, right? So they're removing the word provincial, and eventually we're going to see the names change that we can't understand what they are, right? It's just like the slow progression of and I think that, my opinions, I did a lot of work with First Nations communities, the marginalized communities, and not the elite establishment. But I just think they want division. I think they want to drive it through. And at the same time, if whoever is going to be willing to speak to it, I'm not going to be casting judgment on those people. There's a couple of people in that group that I have no interest in. You do your thing, and I know what you are. But outside of that, there's still people trying to do good work, and even inch by inch, anything you could do to create a wave, help people break through the cognitive dissonance. Because that's what DRIPA did with the housing stuff. It's like, what do you mean I don't own my land? Go ahead, JP.
Yeah, respectfully, I have to disagree with both of you gentlemen on them. I think, my last comment, I was saying, why is Canada so far behind the other countries? Because there's a massive ecosystem of independent influencers that don't have a modicum of impartiality, and they cheerlead for one side. We're in a bad way, man. And people are coming on social media to try to get some unfiltered information, and they're just getting captured by these narratives. And they know it. They all know it too. But I don't want to waste time personally calling them out. But if they come up, I have to say, in no uncertain terms, I think they're absolute shills and they're doing nothing of value. Sorry, just my take.
Hey, man, I'm just trying not to hang myself here. I'm trying to give myself some positive news. Yeah, I don't know what we were talking about. We were talking about money to Ukraine, and then there's a sovereign wealth fund. So the sovereign wealth fund, we don't really have any wealth to invest in it. So we're going to print money. And then because we don't have money, we already printed it. We're probably going to print more money and give it to Ukraine. It's just like, why the hell not? The people won't do anything about it. Why the hell not? Christia is out there. You can't expect her to live off of her meager $150 million wealth or whatever she has in suitcases over there in Ukraine. Got to give her some of that sweet billions of dollars. Meanwhile, Ukraine is falling apart. It always has been. Now they're engaging in terrorism in Russia. They're trying to push Russia to attack NATO so that they can invoke Article 5 or whatever it is. Nobody's paying attention. Iran's in the rear view mirror. What happened to all these people who were claiming about women's rights? We have to help the women of Iran. It's all about women's rights. And then now it's crickets.
Yeah, what is the new thing? Like, what is everybody putting in their bios and their profiles and stuff? Like, is there a new current thing, or are we still on
It's a good
Is it still
question,
around?
JP.
No, I have no idea. It's the same.
If there isn't one, then the other ones have run out. Expect one soon. Definitely some cheerleading will be coming for something. But again, it's like this feels like such a cycle of repeat. Like it's like 5 years of this has just been, you can almost predict the cycle, right? Even was it the infrastructure bank that Freeland had or something, or no, Catherine McKenna's infrastructure, whatever, $198 million. I don't know what happened to it. She's not in prison. Freeland is like, I got this company over here. I need $2 billion. What are you going to use the money for, Christia? I don't feel I have to tell you. Like, it's gangsters. It's like watching The Sopranos, except for they're terrible actors. Go ahead, JP.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking. You look at this sovereign wealth fund, like we don't have a surplus of revenue. That's when you generally see a sovereign wealth fund. He's making a sovereign credit card, a national credit card, and for the debt, it's your children. It's future generations of Canadians will be indebted for Carney's infrastructure programs. And I mean, his whole premise was to use this tumultuous situation to pull Canada away from America and to pull us closer to the EU. I've been saying this right since he came on the scene. You could see that was what his play was, and everything I've seen since then just kind of bolsters my position on that.
So for the audience, if you guys don't know what a sovereign wealth fund is, a wealth fund is like if you have $100,000 you saved up, you can go to a bank and you can say, here, put this in a fund, and they'll give you some percentage return. Sovereign, just it's fancy pantsy way of saying it's for the country. So the country sets up a fund. Now, usually it's corrupt countries like Saudi Arabia that they just say, this is our land, this is our oil field. Sometimes it's legitimate countries like Norway and Sweden, where they have, they somehow acquire the oil fields or whatever, and they put it into this like socialist basket and they pay everyone out. As JP correctly pointed out, we don't have anything. We don't have money. We're printing it. Another way of saying that is that they're going to go out there and they're going to expropriate things. Now, what kind of things could they expropriate? What big chunk of Canada right now is on the verge of leaving because they don't want to be expropriated? Alberta oil, baby.
It's true, and it was good to at least see some, because I'm on the fence. I'm not on the fence, right? But I just like, does Trump know? And like, what is the game here? I know that he had connections with Kushner's, with Kushner. Carney did, anyways, with helping bail out his company. But at least we saw recently they announced, will it get built? We'll see. But a pipeline to Wyoming. I mean, that's progress. If you really wanted to mess with us, because that's the thing with Alberta. It's like they're getting screwed over constantly. Always forgotten. It's like the North in BC, resource rich. And yet that's the resources are not there, right? It's like when politicians get elected, they often forget that you're not just serving the people that voted for you, you're serving the entire province. But the NDP does not. They're so anti resource. Like, we're super rich, we should be one of the richest places in the world with our resources. Alberta, same thing, right? So and I think they handed in a petition with like 301,000 signatures. It was yesterday or today. As far as that movement is massive there, right? Do I want to see it happen? No, because I'm a Canadian, but at the same time, we had nowhere to go when COVID hit. It wasn't like the States. We were all vulnerable. They all were in unison. So, I don't want to see that happen, but if it does, I fully respect their decision, and I'll probably go there and party for a little bit anyways. Over to you, JP.
I want to see what Albertans want. So whatever they want, I support. It's not my decision to make. My concern in regards to Alberta, so far it's been gloves on from Carney and everyone else talking about it. But the closer we get to this becoming a reality or a potentiality, the more you'll see how aggressive they're willing to get. They'll stop at nothing to prevent this. They'll do every dirty trick imaginable to prevent this. I think the only way it's going to succeed is with immense support from America in some way. America to acknowledge their independence or to step in some regard, I think would be the only way, because otherwise I think they're going to stop at nothing to shut it down. I seen Carney was asked today about it. I seen a few people making comments on X right before we started, and he was mentioning a few different acts and how they could just shut it down. I wish I could remember exactly what he said, but they're going to shut it down, man. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at this one.
Here's my prediction for what's going to happen. They're going to use CSIS to try to derail the vote, seal the vote, essentially. And CIA, on the other hand, will probably try to prevent that from happening so the separation goes forward. And then if that doesn't work, they're going to use some form of lawfare. They'll try to drag it through the courts. Well, legally, you can't leave. And the Clarity Act actually didn't specify this. It specified, we didn't know what genders are now. So blah, blah, blah. And then I used to think that the only way this could go succeed was with CIA direct interference. I think at this point, it has to be some sort of soft American threat to go to war, which usually it would, in this case, because Canada does tampons in the bathrooms of the soldiers, it's just basically the Secretary of War coming out and saying, no, you will not do this. You shall not do this. We will not allow you to do this. And Trump saying, I don't know, escalating the rhetoric, like you shall not pass. Let my Albertans go.
Let's go. It's going to get interesting. And on the other side, if there is gerrymandering or interference, even lawfare that drags it out, Albertans are feisty, right? They want their freedom. They want to be able to determine their own course. And a lot of the people that are there also moved to Alberta. Like a lot of people moved to Alberta that are freedom lovers because there was no freedom to be found in this country for a couple of years, and still now you can argue. But I worry for my brothers and sisters, so. At the same time, you're right, JP. It's their choice. Whatever they want, the will of the people should be followed. But you're right, Peyman. They are going to play a lot of games to try and stop that from happening. Go ahead, JP.
Well, the federal government is seemingly in open war against the citizenry of Canada. You just look at the bills: Bill C2, Bill C22, Bill C8, Bill C9, Bill C11, Bill C63. They all work together to tighten the noose around Canada's neck. I mean, if any province could potentially get out of this, I think it would be wise to explore those options. Like it's a nightmare. Not only is the federal government in open war against the citizenry and our rights, nobody seems to care about it. So, I mean, it would be one thing if there was like some robust resistance or opposition in Canada. But what do we got? Feckless Pierre and a bunch of fucking losers pushing his propaganda. It's just shocking to me.
Something's gone terribly wrong in Canada, and I believe it's the breakup of the family unit. In the 90s, when Columbine happened, I always tell this story. Me and my friends, we were in grade 7, 8, 9, and we were just playing with these water pistols, and somebody drove up, and some parent swore at us. It's like, how could you do that on this day? That was community policing. That was a parent, somebody else's parent. In that case, they shouldn't have done that, but disciplining us. If I went home and my mom found out about it, she would discipline me. Between 1999 or 8, whenever that was, until today, that parenting is gone. The decline in birth rates is probably part of that. So when you say, JP, like seemingly the people don't care, I think they welcome this. I mean, if there are no parents and there's no families to enforce this sort of, morality, we need the government to step in and do that. And that's why the three of us are having some difficulty countering it.
Yeah, I agree. And it's sad, that when I look back, I have so much nostalgia for the 80s and the 90s, even the early 2000s a little bit. But at the same time, even when you look back, right, the 70s, 60s, 50s, right, 40s, and then you hit like the 2005 mark. And when it's as soon as, I think it's one of those things where it obviously started with the breakup of the nuclear family for traditional values. And so let's blame the hippies. But I think it was coordinated as well, too. I think that was a part of this long game plan to get us into a position right now where Canadians don't have agency. They don't know who they are. They're just looking for other people to tell them what to think, what to do, right? What's the next thing? What's the next shiny thing? Right. And right now we're in a situation where I feel so bad for the up and coming generations, even the people that are in their 30s. But are they going to be able to own a home? Are they going to not have kids because they can't afford it? And all of these people at the top, they know exactly what they're doing. They don't care. And the fat people still support them. It's amazing to me. I don't understand it. It is mass formation psychosis, but I don't think it was like this. I think it was a very well-played programming that has occurred over decades to get us to this point. And, you know, like JP said, it's hard looking at walking around with a bunch of zombies, but more and more people wake up every day. Even some people that you wouldn't, they're changing, right? A couple of my neighbors, they were, you know, when I moved here, very left. They're very worried about Carney. Can't stand David Eby, right? So it's like, not conservatives, but they're definitely nowhere near as forgiving and as far on the left as they were, as thinking that government's daddy and everything, they're going to take care of everything, because they're not. So go ahead, JP. Sorry for the long one there.
Yeah, the left, it's ironic. It's like I've been saying, like I challenge liberals, like since when were liberals for such authoritarian measures? They have their elbows up in celebration for a central banker as he changes Canada into some kind of perverse corporation. And he changes the citizenry from citizens with rights to indentured employees with privileges. And this is the left now, that like this is liberal people. Like, not even the left. The left obviously can be authoritarian, but I mean, this is a liberal in Canada now. It's crazy. And liberals and the left even were always against mass migration. Why? Because it benefits it doesn't benefit the working class. It stagnates their wages. It raises the prices in infrastructure. It's stressful. And that's always been the case in American Western politics, is the left was against mass migration for labor migrants and stuff. And now it's all, they just support it. It's like they support whatever they're told to support. It has nothing to do with even fitting into what their ideology is supposed to be anymore. They just don't care. They don't think of it.
I want to pick up on the censorship component that you mentioned. I want to tie it to the lack of justice. I think there's an organization, it's called the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. I don't really know much about it. Every once in a while, they come into Parliament and they give a speech. I know that they boast about how they have hundreds of thousands of members. And they usually say something like this: Canada is due for serious tax reform. Our tax code is, overly cumbersome, and it's stifling business. And it's about time that we reformed, reduced taxes in some places and streamlined in others. And they say it in the exact same monotone as I said it. Meanwhile, Tony Ledsham, he's about to go to jail because he was investigating corruption, fraud, money laundering, embezzlement at the Air Canada Union, because we have some corrupt judges. The police, they seem to tell him, like, come to the station and we'll talk. We won't arrest you. He shows up, they arrest him. They throw him in jail. They don't give him a blanket. This is a former Air Force pilot. I think we need something like a Canadian Taxpayers Federation, but a Canadian people who want, actual justice federation. You can use that exact title if anybody wants to run with it. We really need somebody to come out swinging and say, like you need to educate the public. The political systems, the political parties have shown to be wholly inadequate for this. This is how many judges we have. This is how many cases we've had. Of those cases, 75 have been bunk. This is how many tribunal administrators we have. 99% of those are bunk. We need to go in and we need to purge this. That's what I want to see. And people need hope. We need some actual way out of this.
Yeah, and that's what I think a big part of it would be, is to be able to actually see some arrests. It is institutional capture for sure, ideological institutional capture. So without something like that, where it's a broad sweep, where you go in and we just reset it, right? Those that were misbehaved, hold them accountable. What a thought, right? Like, what an actual thought, that word accountability. Have they changed the definition? I haven't looked, right? Because they'll probably say, oh, there's accountability everywhere. It's So that's the saddest part, right? Is not seeing anyone go to prison, not seeing any raids of institutions like that. $750,000 fine to that Barry Neufeld from the Human Rights. Are you kidding me? And the previous executive director was like, when all the churches were burning, she puts out "burn it down." You don't think you might have a problem with an organization, right? And that's the thing, is like, You have to be able to believe in the institutions, at least have some not, you can't go all in with everything, but when there is no integrity within those institutions, what are you doing? Right? Like the everyone should want that. It's not about, oh, you want to have them stuffed full of conservatives and now they're attacking the people on the left. No, what you need is objective people that know what they're doing, and you can't do that when you constantly have political appointments. These people need to go to elections. They need to have term limits, right? There needs to be some way of creating safeguards against where we are now, right? So, and it's like the Senate. Oh, okay, Trudeau appoints all these senators, so now the Senate's stacked, and how long can they stay on the bench for? It's like, why are we so wide open for like countrywide rape of the rights of people and the way of life of I don't want to say normal people, because I'm far from normal, but I'll leave it there. Go ahead, JP.
Well, the fact that the judiciary has been, at this point, you could say, subverted is a big problem. Like that's where we would rely to restore order in other levels of the government. And it's immensely subverted. You look, for instance, like Richard Wagner not wanting to take himself off of the case because of the conflict of interest. And the dude has like a bronze bust of himself. Like, that's megalomaniacal. Who does that, dude? Even if you're
he's the only one that did it too.
That's obviously, like, that's not a common thing. That's indicative of some like narcissism for sure.
Grandiose. Yep. Go ahead, Peyman. Sorry.
Well, Wagner, I mean, if you want to go down this road, he described the trucker convoy as anarchy, and he said that it was a hostage situation, or they've taken the city hostage. You can't do that as a Supreme Court justice. You're supposed to be apolitical. But anyway, before I don't want to go down the memory lane there. God, what did I want to say? I had a really important point to make about solving the judiciary. Oh, okay. People always say we should have elected judges. If you have elected judges, you'll solve the problem. It's better. It's not ideal. I would say what you need is decentralized government. Like you need the taxes, the money to stay in the community. You can have universal health care. You can have a robust judiciary and tribunals and whatever. But the people that work there, they have to be in that community. If you're in that community, you have to go to the local grocery store, the local corner store. And if you do something out of line, they'll give you the stink eye. What they're doing right now, the RCMP, they're just bringing people in from all over town. And if there's a law that the locals don't like, too bad. We'll just put balaclavas on these guys and we'll give them orders. They are almost, it's almost like a mercenary mentality. It's no longer, you have allegiance to the citizenry of your country.
Yeah. And it's one of those, it's interesting because when you look at the system in the States with having constitutional sheriffs, that provided the communities with a lot more, and they're elected, right? But they're loyal to the Constitution.
Can I quickly jump in? The
Absolutely.
Sheriffs, they're local. You're a sheriff, you live in that community, and you're for that community.
Yep. And your job's to uphold the law, and your Constitution is your Bible, right? So, and what we don't have that here, right? We have no semblance when the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, conveniently Pierre Trudeau and his son comes in and is this a movie, guys? I don't know. But we found out very quickly that we had no rights in this country. Right? Very quickly. And that is not something that should be taken lightly. So obviously, I think we need some kind of a constitutional amendment. We need to have something. And then you have the government found guilty, not guilty, but yeah, they were wrongful. They were found. It comes back to Wagner. But you have Chrystia Freeland freezing the bank accounts of Canadians. Woman, you belong in jail. Like, what are you doing? And it was all made up, right? You donated to the convoy, you might get your bank account frozen, right? And yet they just they fail upwards constantly because they're an elite class, right? They don't care about us. We are nothing to them. And that's why right now it's so brazen. So something like what you're saying, yeah, you're right. Electing judges, it's not a perfect situation, but it's better than having ideologues giving favors over, and you end up with a guy like freaking Wagner. It's just like a bronze bust. When I saw that, are you kidding me? And with what he said, it shouldn't be his choice to recuse. Are you kidding me? Okay, so there's no oversight for these guys. There's no a committee above them where the public can go and say, hey, this guy's in a conflict of interest. There's no way he can be impartial. He's already shown what side he's on. Not only that, he was completely off the rails with his assessments. So he gets to be the one that overturns. History's nice and fine, right? It's disgusting. Go ahead, JP.
Yeah, it's like presently in Canada, the legal system is being utilized to enforce a political orthodoxy on the people. They're utilizing lawfare to do so. Not only was the response, the invocation of the Emergencies Act illegal, they continued to persecute members of this protest. Like it went on, like they're still on house arrest now. Like the process is part of the punishment, and what they want to do at the same time is make examples of people. It's like I've been frequently saying, they're trying to normalize tyranny. They're normalizing the authoritarianism till we all think twice about even daring to criticize the regime in Canada. That's where we're at.
I keep name dropping this gentleman, Tony Ledsham. He had a space yesterday, the Canadian Air Force, former Air Force pilot. And he said that we don't have a justice system in Canada that delivers justice. We have a legal system in Canada that generates revenue. And it was really interesting the way he put that, because you and I, JP, and Kris, we talk about lawfare a lot. You know, the process is the punishment. What he's saying is it's built into the system. So the more they punish us through the process, the more money they make. And the Crown Prosecutor, their money just comes straight out of the coffers of the tax agencies. But for the other ones, like the defense attorneys that we have to hire to defend ourselves, they make more money the more complicated the system gets. If we had a functioning justice system, the judges, first of all, the judges would be elected. They would be distributed, decentralized in the communities that we live in. And they'd say, no, if I'm the judge, I'm like, no. Mr. Erikson, he's a good man, family man. He's got a mother, a father, recently passed. He's doing great things in his community. This is not justice. This is taking too long. I'm throwing this case out. Next.
Yeah, that's it. The objectivity of who they're there to look out for, right? The law should be fair. It should be applied equally, right? It should not be used as a weapon or a weapon to silence and chill people, nor as an industry to make people rich and so they can all glad hand in their fancy cars and their nice homes. We always are the ones that get left behind. But at the same time, why is nobody talking about this? Can you name one politician that's talking about this? Right? Maybe a couple. I'm not going to name drop, but but at the same time, right? How long has it been? And it's like the slow squeeze. And now we get to the point where it's like, okay, they didn't care during COVID that they were destroying the reputation of the healthcare system. I know so many people that will never go back into a hospital. I know people that probably should go to a doctor, but they won't. They don't. There's no trust, right? I encourage them to, because again, there's still good people there. My dad was taken care of fairly well, with the restraints, because again, underfunded and not enough nurses, but at the same time, his care was still good, and they did everything when it came to hit my wishes as far as, well, what his wishes were. There was still enough of a functioning system there that, I'm not scared of the hospital. I have to take my mom, that kind of thing. If I need treatment, I'm never getting a vaccine again, ever. Like, oh my God. But they were able to do it, and there was no accountability. The judges, they're able to do these things. No accountability, because it's all these little, it's like I call it very Clinton-esque. It's very Kafka-esque for us, because we can't get any kind of justice. And if you do, look at what the Roman did, how long he had. It's just one thing after another. Oh, it's who's on first, right? No, all these deadlines, it's all Kafka-esque. The machine will always survive. The government should be there to serve us. And I don't know if it's ever been the case where they have, but they clearly aren't right now. It's like they have such disdain for the common man. Go ahead, JP.
There's not been much demand for it. Again, it's the people, you can use the term apathetic or complacent or uninformed or uneducated or uninterested. But I mean, that's a big problem. I think one thing that the ruling class in Canada is confident of is they could feed us shit and we will eat it. You know what I mean? Like, they know that they're going to get away with whatever they put in front of us without even like a demand. There's not even a public outcry against some of this stuff, right? There's like scattered voices trying to speak against it, and then everyone else is just perpetuating the division. They're not talking about anything practical or pragmatic. They're just, it's red team, blue team, right? And it's getting us nowhere fast. And we're getting to a point now where every day we're asking ourselves, like, what does it have to take for Canadians to wake up? And again, I'm not confident in anything. I think we will tolerate whatever they put our way.
JP, you ever seen that scene in Anchorman after Ron Burgundy's fall from grace? The restaurant feeds him cat poop.
I don't recall that specifically, but I did see that movie long ago.
Go back and watch it. That's Canadians. All right, comments.
Yeah, let's do the comments. While you're looking through them, Peyman, I would like to take a moment to appeal to the audience. We have about 300 people watching this. We used to do 3,000 live. So that's just a testament to how much the algorithm does not want you to see this podcast. So if you could do your part, or the only organic reach we get is through shares. So if you guys could please share this or send it to anyone you think might enjoy this type of a conversation, we would appreciate it.
All right, as usual, I'll read the comments. I'll go first, and then that'll give you guys the time to come up with a better response. So we'll go Kris and JP. First of all, Clown World, thank you for watching. That's a second podcast of mine and JP's actually today that you've tuned in. Thank you very much, and thank you for the repost. We have Icy Crap Daily. This is a user I usually recommend everyone follows. They'll wake up when a loaf of bread costs $30 and they're standing in the soup kitchen line a la Great Depression. Yes, and there was a woman at the National Citizens Inquiry who fought for independence, Polish independence behind the Iron Curtain, and she says she fought for like 10 years and nothing she did made a lick of difference until one day the price of bread was too high and all of a sudden people woke up.
Yeah, you're right. That's what we've been saying for a long time. It's like, what is it going to take? Eventually it's going to end up on everyone's doorstep where that flash happens. Yeah, but you know, $30 bread. It's not like we're not, like, some things are so expensive. Like, you go out, and I went out and I just bought a couple of bags of groceries, $185. Didn't even have any steak in it. Right? I'm like, what are we doing, people? Right? So you're right. And yeah, I agree. Icy Crap Daily, definitely give him or her a follow. But I hope we don't get to depression. But I think we're like, the metrics don't look good. So be ready. Stock your cupboards now if you can. Go ahead, JP.
I will follow along with you too. I see Crap Daily's got a great X account. He drops like tidbits of wisdom frequently. I suggest people follow him. I hope so. I hope that would do it. I say very facetiously, Canadians could be waiting in a line for a ration of government cheese and they'll still feel superior to Americans. They'll still put their nose up and think like, at least we're not those Americans, savages. Right. That's just Canadians for you. So I don't know. I would hope so. That's generally when it happens, when, you can't feed your children. You go to the grocery store and there's no food at the grocery store. That's going to be a wake up call. That's when they'll come in with the cricket protein, though.
Yeah.
Some Soylent Green.
Soylent Green. Yeah, there's a good movie reference. Marilyn Walls, catalyze. I could throw a brick at the TV. I don't know. I don't get the catalyze reference, but yeah, I mean, TVs are just, it's ridiculous. I could throw a brick at anything showing CBC.
I think it's in reference to how often Carney uses the word, right? And it's like Freeland, let me be clear. Yeah, I can't watch, like, I have to watch some stuff that for work, but I have such a hard time watching any news. Like, it's so hard. But as a part of my job, I kind of do have to kind of keep my eye on it. But I just get this, like, am I having a stroke? Go ahead, JP.
Carney breaks out his $100 big fancy banker words every once in a while, using catalyst as an adjective, like, till we catalyze. We're going to catalyze investment, and that makes him feel smart, and that makes all the dumb peasants in Canada put their elbows up, slurp the drool up for a moment. Yeah, it's nauseating to hear the same things. That beyond catalyzing, his favorite expression is a more dangerous and divided world. He says that virtually every public appearance he makes. It's like, why do you think he's saying that? He's trying to like embed that into your psyche.
Yep.
So you realize that's why he's doing all these terrible things to us. It's because it's a dangerous and divided world. It's like, come on, man.
Subliminal messaging. Travis A.G. Borgard. Hey, fellas. Hello, Travis. How are you doing? We got Mr. Malosh in the house. I wish I had known. I would have dressed up, and I would have brought my A game. We got a true philosopher amongst us. Gary says, I want my bridge back. Anybody get the reference?
I don't.
Were we talking about bridges earlier?
God knows what we got onto.
Did somebody, or maybe did he sell a bridge? Like, I got a bridge to sell you?
I bet you that's the reference. Clever.
Yeah, Gary, put it in the comments. We'll go over it. All right, IC Crap Daily, round 2. I'm waiting for them to nationalize people's retirement savings to invest in their harebrained schemes. Didn't they already do that with the pension? Didn't they use it for something?
They're trying. I'm not sure if they actually have done it yet, but it's being discussed. And that was even on CBC. One of the guys just said you can't use pension public money for that kind of thing, but it's been talked about. I don't think it's been implemented yet. So, but I'm not entirely sure. Do you know, JP?
I think Kearney's absolutely desperate to get his greedy little paws on Canada Pension. I really do. And that would almost be semi-poetic. As much as I don't wish anyone hardship, I mean, it's the boomers that would suffer there. They would wake up to the monster that they've been supporting. Potentially. Again, apologize.
But again, it could be like if you want to go real dark, MAID. Every single time someone takes MAID, the government gets the pension.
They save a fortune.
They save a fortune.
I didn't think of that. I was going to say bail-in laws that were introduced under Harper, where if the bank runs out of money, they just take your money. Interesting topic. Good question. Andre's got a question or comment. Even though I believe the referendum process in Alberta will be rigged to prevent Albertans from deciding their own destiny, what strategies will the federal government use to prevent a successful referendum, including invoking the Clarity Act? I kind of alluded to this. I think CSIS will try to rig it through like the Dominion machines. And then in my fantasy world, the CIA will come as the savior of humanity, and they'll try to counter rig it. And then they'll go to the Clarity Act. And then I think Trump will get involved and he'll say like, no, you're not doing this.
That's a fair assessment. I think there'll be a lot of other dirty tricks, but again, from it's going to be from all sides, but I can agree with that. Your assessment, that is one outcome that could possibly occur. Go ahead, JP.
I could never characterize the CIA as the saviors of humanity, but I do understand where that wish comes from. Yeah, the Clarity Act is the big thing. That's what he mentioned today when a reporter just asked him about it randomly. He threw that out, but I mean, I believe anything at their disposal, even if they're breaking rules. Like, this guy doesn't care. He just secured a majority through backroom deals. He doesn't care, and he knows he's going to get away with it. So, I mean, we're in a very dangerous situation here, and with no sign of people waking up to it. So it's pretty frightening.
There's one other thing. If you recall, a few years back, Christopher Phelan went there. Somebody called her the C word because they were trying to nationalize Alberta land. If they managed great times, if they managed to nationalize some of the land and Alberta leaves, that's another way they could stall them. They'll be like, we want a third of your country, your province.
Interesting. Yeah. So I think they have a lot of levers. I'd like to even do a spaces and bring some experts on, or do a one-off show and bring a bunch of people on that can kind of run us through what kind of lawfare could be deployed, what the people about what Alberta as a province potentially could do to stop it, because that's where it's going to go. There's going to be the dirty tricks, and then there's going to be the overt lawfare, and I think that would be something they'd want. They're not just going to let them leave. And what part of the province do you think they'd want? Oil. The southern border.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Even just 3 feet in, it's like, yeah, nope, you're not doing nothing. Weird daddy. Go ahead, JP.
They're also going to pull the dirty tricks out. They're going to vilify Alberta separatists. They're going to try to put that social pressure on and really disincentivize people from supporting this. God knows if they'll do something to make Alberta separatists look bad, try to link them to something that's non-savory. They're capable of absolutely anything, and they're highly motivated, because if Canada lost Alberta, like, that could be the straw that breaks the back of Confederation. I can't see us continuing after that. It's pretty much game over.
I think it leads into the next comment from Alice Not Woke. She says, "Hi guys, wouldn't Canada completely dissolve if Alberta separated, since they're primarily paying Canada's pensions?" Yeah, I mean, Ottawa would have to reorganize. They'd be like, all right, we can't keep siphoning money from Alberta and feeding it to Quebec to buy votes.
Exactly. That's like one of the primary motivations, right? There's going to be a lot of motivating factors as to why they don't want to see this happen, but that's one of them, right? And then you're right too, as far as the demonizing, right? They're gonna put that social stigma across. They're gonna do their thing, pull out their weapons, and mass formation people against the people that want just to be left alone. I think if you asked Alberta, they say, leave us alone, let us live our lives, let us be, have kids, family, be wealthy, because Alberta does have a lot of resources. They could be able to become stable and be prosperous, right? As long as they have access to the states as well too. For the states, they'd want that, because they could have clear access up to the north, potentially, right? As far as when you're looking at what motivations the states might have to get involved. But the pension thing is absolutely, the natural resources, absolutely. And I think Alberta's just had enough. A large chunk of them have just said, we are tired of this narcissistic, abusive relationship. Mind you, there's no love bombing from Ottawa ever. So yeah, it's not really a narcissistic relationship. Go ahead, JP.
So yeah, I think they don't see any other option. I mean, if I was in Alberta, I'd be all for it. What else are you going to look forward to? 2029 before there's a chance at Carney now. Like, we have this guy until 2029. He will decimate Canada by then. There'll be nothing left at that point. I don't blame them at all. It's like I said, if it was an option in where I'm at, I would support that too. I think it's just a natural extension for like, what can we do? Like,
JP, you once said you have this habit of answering the question that you wanted to be asked, and none of us answered her actual question. She goes, wouldn't it dissolve because Alberta's paying into Canada's pension? I don't know the numbers, but if it's true as she says, and Alberta props up the Canadian pension, she's got a point. Like, if they leave and the pension system collapses, what's the rest of the country going to do?
well, yeah, it's the economic engine of Canada. It's the only one that has a surplus every year. It's like 13 billion or something like that, and it just goes to Canada for them to divvy it up to the provinces that are just parasitical on this. Like, it's shocking, man. Alberta, it's like I said before, man. Would Alberta take the deal right now? If Confederation was just brand new and they were so like, hey, would you like to join our Confederation, and we will take all of your surplus revenue and we'll do terrible things with it? We'll give it to Ukraine. We'll keep, like, it's, of course not. So there's nothing benefiting them for sure. I think, yeah, I think they would, if Alberta did, if somehow they were able to get out, if America supported them, I think you'd see Canada pensions going. I think you'd see other sacrifices too. The money would have to come from somewhere.
Anything to add, Chris?
No, like I said, there's so much at stake. I just see that as one of the motivating why there would be lawfare, why they'd be fighting so hard to try and prevent it. Will they say that publicly? No, because they don't want the rest of the country to be, wait a second, Alberta pays for all the pensions. Maybe that's why they're angry when they see their money being wasted. So go ahead, next question.
Next one is from JT, Johnny Tightlips. The end goal was to clearly make the parents so busy, demoralized, they want to allow the state to raise ideologize. Help me out here.
Ideologize.
I've never heard that word before. Your children. Yeah. JT, first of all, that was atrocious. I hope you're texting with one hand while going down the wrong way on the highway. Yeah, it was the breakup of the family unit. Everything kind of nudges in that direction. It's like cancer. Like, cancer it's not sentient. It doesn't say, oh, all right, we're going to take over the whole body. We're going to go into the bone marrow and we're going to spread. It just does. And the government's the same way. Like, if it finds a way to stay in power, it just grows. And if the host dies, the host being us, it doesn't care.
Yeah, it's true. I think there's more of a calculated thing with this, right? Like the who we can debate, but it just looks so organized and so tactical. Just from one thing on one, even from when I was younger, even still then, you'll go back and listen to some of the music. It's like they knew that Gen X was feisty and our slogan was no fear. So let's just put out grunge music and make them all depressed. You go back and listen to some of that stuff. I can't believe I was still happy, right? You go back to our regular scheduled programming with television, how it shapes the minds, how it creates trends. It tells people how to think, right? And now we're here, and like I said, it's so hard to see so many people without agency. You ask them, they don't know. They know their talking points, but they now know that fear of being othered also keeps them in their social groups, right? Like, what do you think? So why don't you just tell me what I'm supposed to think? So many people are like that because they don't want to put the effort in, and they're so fearful of being kicked out of the group that they just who needs agency? Who needs authenticity? I'm just going to go with the flow, and I'll never truly know what my potential was or who I am as a person, but I'm okay with that. This is all subconscious though, right? I don't think they actually know this. I think they've been conditioned into that state. So that's just a theory though. Go ahead, JP.
Yeah, that's a sound theory, man. We're multiple generations into being ideologically subverted. We've been conditioned and socially engineered at this point through the media, through our school curriculums, through the news. That's no doubt. I do like, Peyman, your analogy of the state as cancer. It can't help itself but to spread and just destroy everything. That's really good. I have to mention that. And for Johnny Tightlips, that's a great name, by the way. Yeah, it's all part of the agenda, right? Like you could say right away when women had to kind of leave the house and go to work, that was the biggest thing that made parents like require two incomes now to raise their families. So then kids are sat in front of a television more frequently, or they're in after school programs, but by the state. Like it's all just a process that's just consolidating itself. It's refining itself every generation. So
what do we got? Rose Bella says, I want my bridge back. All right. I want to know what's the inside joke here. Did they sell a bridge to someone?
We missed something, man.
Yeah, these goddamn youth and the kids and all their edgy humor. I guess there's nothing to comment on that. Let's go back to JT. Amen to that, Peyman. Decentralization is key. Make accountability great again. We have the means to decentralize like never before with technology. I read that in my inside voice, read that in the Donald Trump voice. Yeah, I think so. I think the key is decentralization. It's taxation. If you give your tax to an authority, then somebody will go and rent seek that authority and use it against you.
I fully agree. The decentralization, bringing everything back local, it needs to happen. You could cut, like, I think, what is it now? The largest employer in the country is the public sector, right? It is absolutely ridiculous how much the government is just owning everything, nationalize it all, right? No. It should be local, right? Most of your tax dollars should go to your local community. That's how you can build a community, right? Keep the government out. The province has a role to play. Yes. Is their role to be daddy? No. Is the federal government's role to be daddy? Or not even that, like the robber in the night that's just stealing your future. I 100% agree, and technology can definitely do that. And accountability, yeah, it's what's missing. Without accountability, there's absolutely no deterrent. There's no reason for any of these people to worry because no one ever gets held accountable. So I want to see some arrests, high profile. So go ahead, JP.
Yeah, if there's one word in the English language that could solve all of the West's problem, it's decentralization. In every sector, especially banking. I think that would pay dividends. And accountability, absolutely. Johnny Tightlips knows what's up, man. He's always watching. He's very informed. I agree with him.
So David Fishman comments, great movie, The Bridge Over the River Kwai. I think he's teasing me with that one. But Johnny 5AB finally tells me what he's talking about. PEI bridge owned by French holding company. Do you think that's it?
No, I think it was Gary. I think he put it in there, Patello Bridge or Mills Memorial Hospital. Oh, I think he's talking about the name change of the bridge that they changed. I'm not sure.
Patello Bridge or Mills Memorial Hospital, or
I think they changed the name of the Patello to.
God damn it, you guys, you're killing us. Just put it in the comments.
We're trying, though.
Moving on. Alice Not Woke says Wagner must have gone to Epstein's Island. Yeah, that'd be funny. I was actually thinking earlier they might release Jeffrey Rath, his name, as having been on Epstein Island to derail the Alberta movement.
I don't even know what the Wagner that would be like. I just think the guy is so full of himself. Even just somebody saying, "You need to recuse yourself." Do you know who I am?
Did you see my bronze bust when you were coming in here?
No, he goes to Epstein Island with his robe on, the ridiculous red clothing,
and he's carrying the bronze.
Yeah,
wherever he goes, he gets an extra seat on the plane for it.
Even Jeffrey Epstein won't let him on the island. Like, this guy is just too creepy,
just too much.
Blair, thank you for reposting the stream. Alice Not Woke. I think we're at Soylent Green level when people are still asleep. I'll throw that one over to you, Chris.
I was in Victoria. I posted a picture of this restaurant called Murder Burgers, and I'm just like, I couldn't help but think of Charleston Heston. Apparently, it's got great food. I'm just thinking the name, and on the side of the building, it says Red Rum from like The Shining. I think that was from The Shining, right? Interesting place, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, we are so past. Like, nothing would surprise me now. Not that I'm saying I think it's happening, but me saying they wouldn't do that, I've said it too many times because they always end up doing that. So, but I kind of no comment on that one. But I see you. Go ahead, JP.
We're almost at cannibalism, poverty in Canada. Yeah, no, it's the sleeping people. It's getting to a point of just absurdity now for me. It's like I say, the best you can hope for is people that think they're politically awake and they're supporting Pierre Poilievre. It's like in 3 more years, Pierre Poilievre's really going to bring it home. It's like, oh my God, we're doomed.
It's like, you poor soul. You leave people to their delusions. At least they'll die happy. They'll get mated while being happy. Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss.
Let's go 00 Scotch. That's a cool name. Dangerous and divided requires safety and security as a solution. I can only imagine what dystopian nightmare will fit that criteria. Dangerous and divided requires safety and security. Is he talking about society needs safety and security now?
Yeah.
I think he's referencing like what we were speaking of earlier, Peyman, like a problem reaction solution or anarcho-tyranny. So the more dangerous and divided he can convince Canadians are, then the more malleable they will be towards his solution, which will be
Mark Carney. Mark Carney said that.
Yeah. Okay. That's 15-minute cities, right? Keep an eye on everybody.
No, that's true. So, yeah. You need government to keep you safe. We're in the wilderness now, even though everyone's out of the wilderness in the concrete jungle.
Yeah.
Let's see. Clown World, boomer blaming. Always Clown World. Always. Same time, same channel next week.
Change the name.
The boomer blamers.
The boomer blamers.
I'm not blaming the boomers. I know they're contributing a lot, but the youth there's a lot of people that have been conditioned on both sides. But I know a lot of youth that are young, motivated, and trying to do right by the country. I know a lot of boomers, but I know, I hear it, I see it.
I don't really look at myself as a boomer blamer. I'm a World War II generation supporter. That's how I classify myself. Anything you want to add, JP?
The second greatest generation, the boomers.
Yeah. All right. We got one comment from Chris Enns. Let's see what he's saying. Unfortunately, Peyman, Trump's actions are furthering the WEF agenda, purposefully or not. He won't be anyone's savior. I still I want to believe that he is, but I've resorted to the proof being in the pudding. So I'm only waiting to see if he does any good moves. Most of them are bad. Chris.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't think we should be looking to anybody to be a savior. But I think that's it's like a condition right? It's part of the problem. It's like, oh, this politician's going to save, this political group's going to save, right? And but I agree. Like I wouldn't, I like that he added purposefully or not, right? Because I'm still looking at everything, and I'm taking each action on its own. And the more variables we get, we'll have a better chance to have a more full assessment. But the thought of Gavin Newsom being president, right? Well, I'm okay with Trump. Like I hope that he does more, but at the same time, we would just have to wait and see. Go ahead, JP.
I lost all faith in Donald Trump. I've never seen a 180 to that extent. I've never seen anybody turn and do a 180 on all of their promises. He ran as a repudiation of neoconservatism, and now he's the embodiment of it. And we're not supposed to notice, or you're woke, right? It's really disconcerting. Like the way he was propped up, he was, and everyone was hoping Trump could actually make some changes. And it seems like he's just like all the rest of them, and that's a hard pill to swallow.
So the next comment is from 00 Scotch. He jumps in the ring and he disagrees with Kris. He says, patently false. Trump's actions are in direct opposition to the globalist WEF. I just want to say, like, I know where I want to go, which is essentially property rights, land for everybody, do some land reform, get everybody out of the cities and get them happy. And anybody that does that, I'll partner with them directly, indirectly. I'm seeing some good moves from some people out of the Republican side. I don't like where Mamdani is going. I disagree with the war in Iran. I think it was a distraction. I'm hoping that the Southern Poverty Law Center will gain some dividends, but I have no illusions that we're in this on our own. No one's going to help us.
Yeah, well said. I think it's I had more hope in the past when before when he was running, and I've seen a lot of the division in the MAGA crowd. But at the same time, one person is going to be perfect. So if you expect a politician to check off every single box, that's delusional, right? So having principles and the foundation as far as the things that matter to you. But at the same time, there's a lot of things he could have done and could still do. What was it the other day? I can't remember what it was. Last week we were talking about, if Trump just did this, it would solve a lot of problems. But there's a lot of things on that list, right? Seeing Fauci, second in command, get arrested, that's interesting. Are they going to come back around? And he got arrested for destroying documents and trying to cover up evidence. We don't see that in Canada, right? We still had our health minister. She's still getting boosters, and she's promoting them on her page. It's like, really, right? Is it not just a flu shot? Or like, how is COVID-19 even still, how are we even still talking about it? Makes no sense to me. And so you have on that side, but then on the other side, you can bet that some people in this country are looking at that going, if they actually go and take out Fauci and they actually put a trial and walk through all of the crimes that occurred,
it would be glorious.
Oh, it'd be so good. And all the people up here be like that gif you see with the guy turning his eyes. But that's what people need, is just some accountability. And if Canadians need to see that down south, they might demand it here too. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm not either. I'm still looking. I'm not 100% happy. I'm not against Trump. I'm still watching this and hoping things change. So thanks for the comment, 00. Go ahead, JP.
Yeah, I just don't believe it. I don't believe it anymore. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, and it's on me. I sincerely, I just don't believe it. I look back to all the times Putin has done speeches or went on RT and said that the president of the United States is a show for the people and the deep state run the West, especially in regards to foreign policy. I don't know how anyone could see it otherwise. I'm all still hopeful. Like, I want to be wrong. And if I am wrong, I still feel right for having no faith presently. It's not my job to blindly have faith in a billionaire politician when everything he's doing shows me it's the opposite. Nah, man, I'll be happy to be wrong on this, but I don't think I am.
Kris, were you talking about Trump picking up the gender reassignment surgery cases and making it an international drive?
Yeah. That would be another thing that it would be so easy to do. Protect the children, get in there. He could do it with an executive order.
Epstein files.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
Protect the children.
There's a pipe dream.
So we can
Let's
eat
poll
your monitor.
I'm going to poll the hosts. We have a question from the audience. David Fishman says, "You guys aren't fully boosted." Sadly, I am not. Why don't we go through our medical history publicly, Kris?
Show me papers. No, definitely not.
I'm fully caffeinated.
I was super close when they were offering free ice cream. Like I was really close when I saw Bill de Blasio just being like, we'll give you some free fries and gravy if you do it. Yeah, no, I did not participate in the medical trials, the experiments.
I was actually hungover. I was supposed to go get my booster shot, but I was hungover and I missed it. Not my booster, my actual shot. And then I called in. I had to reschedule, and they're bouncing me around. They're like, "If you have immigrants living on your front lawn, press 8." And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'd rather die than have to do this stupid thing.
Let me add something here. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
No, I came very close to making the biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah, and I want to say, yeah, exactly. At the same time, there was a lot of people that it was. I was lucky enough that I didn't have to make any. I wasn't put in that position to have to make that decision. I would have become unemployed or whatever, right? But a lot of people didn't have that option, and that's what I'm talking about as far as that kind of coercion that occurred. But at the same time, I was lucky enough that I didn't have to. I didn't go. I wasn't in the same position as a lot of other Canadians were that regret it and wish they didn't. And I wish the government hadn't done that to them as well. Go ahead, JP.
Yeah, I'm fueled on caffeine and nicotine so much so I have a natural immunity. I just keep going. I don't need that shit.
Well said, brother.
we got a comment from Johnny 5AB. What's your take on G fans?
What is that?
I'm unfamiliar.
Fans? I don't know what G fans is. Man, I could you're Googling it, JP?
I am, yeah.
Okay,
I have to know.
I hope it's not a porn site or something.
Johnny 5 is alive.
I can't see what it is. G-Fans Tokyo Station. G-Fans products. I'm not sure what he's
Go to the next question and put it in the comments. Let us know what's up, Johnny.
JT, if Alberta leaves, they'll ramp up May to hyper speed. Maybe the fifth be with you. Could you imagine? Yeah, like Alberta leaves, they don't have money, and they just if 2008 the crash happened, they asked people, they said, would you like to voluntarily, resign so that we don't have to fire anybody? I wonder if they'll do that with the elderly. Have you considered killing yourself today?
They're already doing that. I think it was Alberta that was the first one to come out and tell doctors to stop. Right. And then you hear stories in BC where the doctors' offices are like calling the people like, so you ready yet? You're ready? You're ready? Like, how gross are you? Right? Like, I don't know. How is that legal? When I used to be a crisis line volunteer, I would like to know. Have they changed it now? So crisis line volunteers are like, have you thought about MAID? Right? You get people that are most vulnerable and veterans and other things. MAID is such an abomination. I believe it should be there for the most extreme cases when people are in pain or at end of life. But everything else, healthcare, right? Do no harm. These doctors are all probably getting bonuses for, I got another one. Whiteboard up there. Sorry, I could go on about that for a while, but it's not funny. But at the same time, yeah. Go ahead, JP.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, man. I mean, quite literally. I wouldn't be surprised if Alberta was able to leave if they just put in place mandatory MAID. You're 65, you qualify for your mandatory free MAID. That's the replacement for Canada Pension.
They mobilize the army. They're like, all right, as soon as Alberta leaves, you're going to go house to house, every third house, whoever's in there, including their pets, you got to kill them.
Would you like your booster? It's so gross. It's criminal. Like this government, everything they're doing to the kids, to the elderly, to us, everything to me, it's so off the rails and so depraved indifference or just full on freaking malicious intent. I don't know.
I just glimpsed at the next comment. This is hilarious. Gary asks, does anyone else know where the headquarters WEF WHO for the UN is? Double Scotch, the hollowed out volcano. It's got Klaus Schwab's face etched on the side of the volcano.
Well said. Yeah.
Here we go. Finally, the bridge thing. The
I was right.
Stala-Wishim Bridge, which replaces the Patello Bridge. Both equally nonsense names. But yeah.
I take Patullo. I grew up with it.
JP.
My major concern with all this is, imagine you were injured and you were trying to call 911 and describe where you were injured at. And there's characters in it that just don't make sense phonetically. Like, I don't even know how to describe these characters to you, to tell you the street name of where this incident is.
You're like bleeding out. You're bleeding out, and autocorrect won't let you do it.
Think of the poor Uber drivers and stuff. Thank God they got Google Maps.
Yeah, true.
Could you imagine the police like, officer down, we need assistance. Where are you? We're on the corner of S7 backwards.
We're on the corner of.
It's not being disrespectful. It's just, again, it's like, no, stop with this, right? Like, that's your language, that's your culture, fine. But you're gonna hurt people and annoy a lot of people as well too. So there's a reconciliation. Like, I can't even use that term anymore, because what does it mean? No one will tell me what it actually means. I just see like a lot of it as a giant grift and things like this. Like, you a park and stuff like that, but still, even a park as being able to speak the language, right? They might as well put Chinese. Like, what are we doing? Yes, there's a certain section of the community that will be able to read the signs, but we're an English-speaking country, in my opinion, primarily. So we shouldn't be messing with that.
I'm not going to say anything else before I find my ass in jail. Do you want to say anything, JP?
No, I'm good on that.
Oh, it's just me.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, let's see what Alice Not Woke has to say. They've already exposed human meat in McDonald's. Rabbi Finkelstein, anyone? I mean, honestly, if you want my honest opinion, human meat in McDonald's burgers would probably be a step up from what's in there already.
I hadn't heard that. And I don't know. I can't eat McDonald's anymore. Like, it messes with me. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. I think the fillet of fish still kind of sets okay, but it's risky. So I just don't go in there.
You get the McGurgles.
Right? Exactly. You just want to sit down. It's like, why? I had a small burger and you're like knocked out for the rest of the day. You feel gross. You start sweating oil. Grease. Yeah. Who's Rabbi Finkelstein? Do you guys know?
I thought it was a Frankenstein reference, like Jewish Frankenstein. I don't know.
I think Frankenstein was Jewish.
Let's see.
The name would indicate as much.
Again, no comment. I don't want to end up in jail for anti-Semitism.
I never heard about human meat in McDonald's. Nothing would surprise me, but I did read a study recently that said there's as many as 1,000 different cows for 1 quarter-pound hamburger. So that's the extent that this is processed. They looked at the DNA to see how many different cows were in one burger, and it was like 1,000.
Jesus.
Just freaking.
This is the world's biggest meat processor. They just put 10,000 cows in there and comes out of the other end.
Some conspiracies about that, man.
Okay, moving on. Let's see what Gary has to say. Mark Canada is running an ad on YouTube telling new Canadians to get prepared. I wonder how much that cost us. Mark Carney, I guess?
Yeah.
Get prepared for what? Well, I mean, he asked rhetorically.
A more dangerous and divided world.
More money to Ukraine? Is that what we got to watch out for?
Get ready for the catalyzation of investment.
Yeah.
Canadians get prepared.
I'm not sure.
Cost us.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure I will, though.
I mean, if you want an answer, we'd have to get Zelensky on the line. I'm sure he knows. Moving on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Andre Milosh, good to see you still here. In Trump's case, syphilis leads to dementia, megalomania, and delusions of grandeur at this stage. Tell us how you really feel, Andre. Frederick Nietzsche is a striking example. Saint Trump is not seated at the Father's right hand. It is the Father who sits in Trump's place. We're going to throw it over to you. You're the philosopher, JP, and then we'll go Kris.
I thought I was the teddy bear, but I'll tackle it. Yeah, it's stunning. Clearly Trump was always a bit of a megalomaniac. We tolerated it when we thought he was on our side. But even if he wanted to do something, it's very evident to me and a lot of other people that he's not making his decisions. So I mean that's really disconcerting when you look at the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's where it was first. The Iran thing was just something. It's one of those shock moments. No, well, actually, no. Maduro first. I'm kind of okay. That's kind of base, but at the same time, what did you just do, right? So it's like you watch his moves, and he was entertaining at first, right? Like I was loving it when he first got elected. Like it was just like, are you kidding me? All right, swing. We need this. We need someone to shake up the system, right? But then you see what's happening now, where he's in his second term. We're coming up to midterm, so he's almost 2 years in, and you got like a little over 2 years left. And what have you done? Seriously, what have you done? And that's the problem I have, is time is ticking, and then we're going to probably get a Gavin Newsom on. I mean, that's what they're priming. I'll predict it now, right? They're priming him to be the next president, and that guy's a lunatic, absolute lunatic, but he's good. He understands the game. He presents well. So we got two and a half years left. Conveniently, again, heading up to Agenda 2030. It's like we need some based moves. We need something to shake it up. I saw in the comments somebody says, well, Trump's appointed 271 judges. We might see that might be part of what keyed off with Fauci's little sidekick. But we don't know. And it's a lost opportunity, right? You're in your second term. You're not looking to be reelected. Swing, man. But as JP said, who is he taking his orders from if that's the case? And I don't know. But yeah, it makes you wonder, because you got everything, man. Just go for it. Bring some conservatism back. So go ahead, JP or Peyman.
I was just going to say it's like the Obama's term when the Tea Party damaged him. They kind of sidelined Obama. I think Trump, his brand has been damaged. Just put him in the background and put some of the newer, younger people or RFK and then just put them up front. Do you want to say something?
It would be interesting if RFK took a run at the Democratic Party. Honestly, it's very possible. Or someone like Tulsi comes back and tries to do something.
Thomas Massey would be good. He's fun.
Yeah, he's a good guy too. I'm just bringing up the comment you referenced. Alice Not Woke says, apparently Trump has appointed a record-breaking 271 judges. The slow wheels of justice may perhaps finally bring justice. We need the same replacement in Canada. I'm not the one making the $500,000 salary that Trump is. This is Trump's job. It's his mandate. And he needs to go out there swinging. The Southern Poverty Law Center, the lawsuits against gender reassignment surgery, Epstein, if we ever get to it, what happened in Michigan with all the fraud, California, the fraud, bring it to the forefront. Everywhere. Sorry? Yeah, the fraud's everywhere in every state. But like, just make a spectacle of it. Like the 4th of July, make it come out and say, you know, on this 250th occasion, we're gonna have prosecutions like we've never seen before, and George Washington would be proud, or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like a 271 judges to do what? Like put anti-Semitism laws in play? Because like we're seeing an erosion of freedom of speech in America too. I just see the same agenda being implemented with a different rationale.
Kris?
Yeah, I can't. The same agendas, right? Is it all right? Because you can see some of the Republicans. That's the hard part, right? Is when you look at it, it's like the uniparty side of it, right? For sure. But even like I've said before, I've met some people in the legislature that are very aware. Like it changed my view as far as, okay, they may not be able to do everything that they want to do, but they're not, it's not as like blanket automaton. Everyone's, you know, in on it. They're all trying to screw everybody over. There's people in every legislature. There's people in every parliament that are trying. It's just, and then you look at the states, right? It's the same thing. Congress, Senate, you can't deny that the uniformity of the agenda, especially in Commonwealth countries, right? We saw very blanket. Everyone's doing the same thing. Somebody's pulling the strings, you know, but I still think the more people wake up, I'm going to go down swinging, eating some freaking cheesecake and drinking some whiskey, right? Like I've lived a good life. you know, and I don't have that ability to just sit back and watch my country fall apart. And describing it is hard. You know, I don't like to create anxiety, but when you see the 271 judges, it's a start. I don't know, because a lot of the times judges throw things out. So because we're here in Canada, we got a huge problem with that, right? Judges throwing stuff out. We just saw Dan Hartman have his case thrown out, right? Like, we need huge change in this country, and I don't know who's going to be the one to actually do it. So go ahead, Peyman.
You guys have 10 more minutes. We got some good questions.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Before we continue, it might be a great time for me to interject very briefly and ask if everyone could please share the stream. We got about 500 watching, so it's very advantageous.
Good point. And we got some comments on GFANS. So Johnny 5AB says it's a Glasgow Financial Alliance, $130 trillion slush fund. It's a little bit bigger than my bank account. Peggy says GFANS was Carney's natural asset financial weapon to move capital in favored businesses for net zero. I just like to stress that fuck that guy. Peggy says, she also says GFANS fell apart when the Republicans hit them with the antitrust violations. I didn't know that, Peggy. I should look into that. Who wants to pick this up? I don't know where to start.
It's all new for me. Go ahead.
I'll recuse myself entirely. Peggy is immensely informed on these issues, so I'd say she's spitting gospel. But I'm horrendously underinformed regarding any of this.
It's all on you, Kris.
I got nothing. I will not speak to something I don't know about. But yeah, Peggy's good. So give her a follow.
Yeah, give her a follow. That's my only advice. Sorry, guys, we're not informed on that. David Fishman says, how many different TV shows has Trump been in? I know he was in Home Alone.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch. And I saw something walking through my living room. They're talking, but they might be bringing back The Apprentice with him.
I think with his son. With
his son. Okay. I have no idea how many, but lots. I think he appeared in Friends. I think he's been in TV, just cameos for a very long time for sure.
Hey, Dad, JP
did a stint on the WWE, so his kayfabe is good.
Peggy says, look up climate cartel lawsuit in the House Judiciary. The full lawsuit is there. All right, I'll add that to the queue of things to read. Peggy also says Texas billionaires, the Pentagon, and the Heritage Foundation is what's in charge of this admin. Interesting. Comments?
Yeah, I would have to say Israel. Israel definitely has some influence in this administration. I know a lot of people are hesitant to say that, but I'm not. I think that's immensely disconcerting. That's why we're at war with Iran.
Kris?
I think I'm definitely with I've followed it for a while, so I know AIPAC, and I think that Israel has influence in every country. But I agree that when I look at Canada, I look more at the Chinese. I look more at the list is long. I look at the CCP, I look at aspects of. I look at who are the power brokers, and I can't say I don't know. I don't know, right? Would it surprise me if there was undue influence there? No, would not at all.
Let's see, Andre. Where are you, Andre? Here we go. In 2009, during the first H1N1 scam, I like that word, I was ready to lose everything and end up in prison. So COVID was a freak show to me. I think it was a cakewalk for him, or maybe it brought back bad memories. Yeah, there's very few people that have integrity and stand on principle. Andre's one of them.
Yeah. It's I was at university when the first H1N1 thing hit, and it was so weird. It was kind of like when I look at the COVID event, it was kind of like a dry run, because there was no vaccine. Like, they tried to push it, but there was no mandates. I think they kind of saw how far they would go. And I'm walking around, and because I used to work in a hospital, right? I'm like, okay, if this is real, then why are you using the American Center for Disease Control? All of their signs and their stuff on the floors and stuff. They went out, and I'm just like, wait a sec. The BC Center for Disease Control has different numbers, right? And because I wasn't scared. That was one example. One of the student union, which I found out that student unions aren't actually a union. They don't do anything for you. They're a union. right? But I'm used to like actual unions. So I walk in and just like, I'm so done with this, right? And I said, okay, so why are we doing American? It's like, oh, it's all we had. And I'm like, yeah, but there's different numbers, right? Ours is an additional 1.5 feet, right? And so I tried to get the person to stand on one side, and I brought some pepper, right? Just because I was not buying into it. It just seemed like such a stage show, even though the girls volleyball team they got sick. But again, it's like they keep doing this condition to finally get to the point in COVID where they're just like, we're going all in. We don't care what you think. So I was kind of prepared for it, but I still had a little bit of time there where like, what the hell is going on? And then it was the masks. I used to work in a hospital. What are you doing? All you're gonna do is promote bacterial pneumonia. Go ahead, JP.
For me personally, COVID was my seminal moment that kind of awoken me to some of the corruption. And since then, it's just been a journey. I've been obsessed with going down rabbit holes and trying to figure it all out. But I wasn't super aware. I didn't know what hit me with COVID. It kind of blew my mind. I'm still in perpetual shock from that.
Yeah.
Here's a funny one from JT. Peyman or Peyman, the cannibalist. Yeah, if things get bad, we're going to turn on each other.
Peyman, that is good.
I've only put on a little bit of weight, JT. Come on. We got a comment from Kris Erikson, former PPC candidate.
Good guy.
He's a really good guy, yeah. He's very smart. Give him a follow. Not so smart when it comes to handles. I think his X handle starts with an underscore. Destroying the world's energy situation is not in direct opposition to the WEF agenda. Again, whether Trump intended the oil and trade catastrophe, I cannot say, but his actions are killing the purchasing power of regular people and furthering the global fascist corporate elite power. Yeah, from a certain perspective, I understand that. I don't want to sound like I'm just ping-ponging between hate and support for Trump, but I see where he's going with that. Kris?
Yeah, and I agree. Like I don't have love and I don't have hate. I'm just watching, hoping for more, but I'm not putting all of my faith into to politicians. I can't. I like to give people chances and I want to see it. But again, yeah, I'll leave it there. Right? It's good comment, Kris. I like it. Makes me think.
Yeah, I agree. I like the fact that he used the term global fascist because that's what it is. It's like international fascism. It's not communism. It's definitely not communism. This is a group of international fascists that are trying to transition our nations into some kind of perverse corporations.
And we can end it with two comments from Peggy. First one, she says Israel is basically a military post in the Middle East. Yeah,
I've heard that said before.
Aircraft carrier. And the second one, she says Israel itself has been subverted. It'd be interesting one day if you could tell me who subverted it from who.
I'm curious.
I have many thoughts on that, but I won't approach them this late in the episode. Where we're towards the end, though, I do want to do a plug. Peyman and I are trying something different, a morning news show, essentially. It's Monday through Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern. You could find it on my X profile or on YouTube as well. And tomorrow evening, I have a special episode of my show, Dumb the Wiser. I have Dr. Oliver Haydorn and Andre Maloche will be joining me for a discussion regarding Douglas social credit. So I'm very much looking forward to being informed on this, and you guys should definitely check it out.
I want to do a plug too if we're going to be plugging. That sounds good.
Plug away,
congratulations
brother.
on the show. If you want to run it through my page, I don't care. Go for it. This Thursday at 7 p.m. Doing a night call for the first time since November 25th of last year. And it's going to be on the BC Conservative Leadership Race. We're going to have Anthony Russo on. James M is co-hosting, so I'm kind of just going to be the bus driver. James M, Orange Shirt James, if you're not familiar. Anthony Russo, the Remanded, and Ryan Painter are going to be coming on. And we're going to be probably doing it for about an hour and 40 minutes. Hour and a half, sorry. We'll talk for about 35, and then the mics will be open. So if you can tune in, want to come in, ask questions, give your thoughts. It is a spicy leadership race, so it should be a good conversation. And thank you for everybody tonight for coming out.
Any parting words, Peyman?
No, I got no plugs.
I mean, I should say Pie Man.
Hi, man. Yeah.
So with that
This is
said,
Pie Man signing off.
I like it. Yeah, that should be your sign out. With that said, though, I would like to thank everyone for coming out, watching, and interacting. Thanks for all the great questions. And once more, I have to appeal to you guys. We derive most of our views long after the live broadcast. So if you guys could share it, it's still very, very appreciated on our behalf. Thanks for coming out, guys.
See you next week.